How's it going, guys? It's Nick here with Mechanicbuilt, and today we are in the shop, and as if you guys could see, we have a Dodge Charger in the shop today. And you guys know, if you guys know me, how much I like Dodge. Little fun story about this Dodge Charger here. The customer came originally to me asking me to fix essentially the seat. He was in this facility looking for a mechanic to fix his electrical issues, and we took care of him. He calls me up and says, "Nick, hey, look, I drove the car hard." I was like, "Okay, no problem." And he had a check engine light. He told me it was the oil pump. I said, "You got oil pressure?" And he goes, "Yeah." Well, these things are notorious for having a bad solenoid in the oil pump. And I told him it could be that, but you need to do all these proper diagnosing, right? He started the job, and then he broke the upper oil pan. And you're probably wondering what all this does to a leak down test. And then I had to ask him, and because Jared was bagging on me, and I was like, "Hey, you briefly mentioned about some coolant spewing out when you drove it hard, but then you weren't so worried about it." And basically he told me the previous mechanic told him, "Well, you shouldn't worry about anything because it was just a coolant temperature switch."
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Well, you drove the car hard and it spat out coolant. So that kind of gives me a big sign that this could be a head gasket leak. And I told him, "Hey, let me do a YouTube video on it and seeing if we have a head gasket leak." Fair warning for those that are looking for a leak down test tutorial. This isn't one of those videos. I'm gonna kind of go into depth with it, but I'm not gonna go in full detail because there's many videos out there that kind of could explain how a leak down tester works. So with that being said, let me show you what a leak down tester is. So right here on the workbench, as you can see here, I have my leak down tester gauge. This one is from OTC. This is probably one of the better affordable leak down testers you could get out in the market. Comes in this fancy box, and with this gauge here, it has a little bit of a graph. If you're running 90 psi to 100 psi of air into your leak down tester, basically it'll help you with your percentage. You got some fittings here for different types of spark plugs, and then you got your cable here. But basically what you're doing with the leak down tester is shooting air into the engine block. Now what you guys can see here, I have a air compressor. This air compressor has a hose, and basically what we're going to be doing is taking this hose and shooting air into the engine. Now, this, by the way, is a Harbor Freight air compressor, and I'm honestly really impressed with it just because how quiet it is. Why would you consider a leak down test? Well, a leak down test pretty much can tell you not only the condition of your block, if you say you bought a block, if it's outside the vehicle and you can't do a compression test, or you might have a head gasket leak. You can find issues with the valve, piston rings, and all sorts of issues when it comes to a leak down test. And honestly, you know, I always tell people, hey, you're gonna buy a block from some guy and you don't know the condition and you can't tear it apart. See if he has an air compressor. Show up with one of these guys and make sure that your investment or your repairs that you're about to do is worthwhile. I don't know why. It's kind of surprisingly weird that a lot of people, especially in the automotive industry, don't do leak down tests. Yeah, it's kind of time consuming, and I get it. Customers don't want to pay for a leak down test because it's either about 2 to 4 hours within the book. But the reality is leak down testing can save you a lot of time, especially when you have a car like this that you don't exactly know what's going on with the block. And today, that's what we're going to find out. I'm going to go ahead and get started on this Charger and see what we could do from there. Hopefully, well, I'm 80% sure that the head gaskets are blown, but if not, well, yeah, we'll see how it goes. As you guys can see, he's already kind of started taking this apart because he was doing some work. Basically, what you got to do is make sure you have access to the crank bolt and pretty much clear all this stuff here in order to get to the spark plugs. Obviously, this is a 6-cylinder, so this should be pretty quick in order to get to the spark plugs. So I'm going to go ahead, remove the intake manifold here. The actual intake tube is out of the way, and I could see that we have coolant already right over here splashing. So we're hoping that, you know, maybe his repair down here is the cause and not necessarily the heads, because it looks like, I mean, you gotta think about it. I hate auto manufacturers where they put plastic everything here. So I'm hoping that the leak down test is good and we could do the oil pump, and this will be a happy pappy Dodge Charger. Let's take the sucker apart. So we got everything off, as you guys could see. The upper intake manifold's off. We got the spark plugs out. Pretty much block the lower intake manifold there. Make sure there's no debris going inside. And now we're going to go take a look at the spark plugs and see what's up. We got all the spark plugs out, and all I'm basically looking right now is for any obvious signs. If anyone knows how to read a spark plug, this is where you kind of start off. I mean, except for some spark plug here that looks like a little bit rich, and then some of them are running a little bit lean. I don't see anything obvious that these suckers are steam cleaned, meaning that water is coming into the combustion chamber. The spark plugs look all right, so let's go ahead and just basically start seeing where we could do this leak down test. It looks like right over here we have coolant. Obviously you can see right here. It had to come out from somewhere. Kind of like looking and seeing where any of this coolant is. I mean, it's kind of splashed right up here on my AC compressor. So I'm hoping that, you know, what we're essentially looking for is no bubbles in my coolant overflow / reservoir here. I'm going to find out the firing order for this particular engine, and then basically once we find top dead center of one, then we just keep going and making sure that our leak down test is good. Now, if you're doing this yourself and you went through a video, I always suggest having a pen and a paper so you could actually kind of write down the percentage of the two gauges. With that being said, let me go find the firing order and then we'll get back to this. I forgot that the engineers at Chrysler are simpletons, and this is a car that has the firing order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that being said, pretty much here I got my notes, and I got pretty much all laid out as you can see here, gauge 1, gauge 2, and the cylinders. And now what we're going to go ahead and do is just hook the sucker up and see what our leak down is, and hopefully we have no issues. A couple things if you're doing this. I use a screwdriver, but I've actually known people to actually break the tip of the screwdrivers because they don't pay attention to it getting caught. So I just kind of use that to eyeball where my top dead center is. Even though if you have a borescope, you could actually see if the valves are closed or open. And I got a ratcheting 3/4 inch here in order to spin the motor. So we'll just go the same direction as the motor spins, which would be right. As you can see, we are on the downstroke here. And it started going down a little bit, so I'll just back up a little bit to make sure I'm top dead center. Make sure pretty sure this should fit. All right, got the correct adapter on here. Let's see if we can get this sucker on. Make sure you want those adapters tight because the last thing you want to do is fish out an adapter at the bottom. And plus, this should only be hand tight just like that. Make sure the O-ring seals. Hook this sucker up. Okay, it's time to get shop air now. All right, so as you guys can see here, we got 90 PSI being shot into there, and we got also 90. So this actually, the cylinder number 1 is sealing really, really good, especially for how this thing's about 150,000 miles. All I'm also doing is taking off the oil cap, got the radiator cap off right over here, and basically all I'm looking for is to hear anything weird or if the gauges are going to be reading horribly. Firing order is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we got quite a bit of a ways to go, and yeah, if I have an issue, I'll stop. If not, time lapse. See, look, like nobody's perfect, right? So I had to change the adapter so it's 1/4 inch to 1/4 inch MPT quick disconnect fittings. But now, before we had a problem, I don't know if you guys saw earlier, that this gauge was reading higher than this gauge. Now this gauge is reading higher than the right gauge. Pretty much the leak down test was actually really good with this motor. I'm kind of surprised, 150,000 miles, and I'm getting a 1 to 2% leak down. However, I am trying to still figure out the whole entire coolant thing, so guess what? Got myself a pressure tester, hook that up, and I'll show you guys what I found out. So I found out why the coolant came out after kind of doing some more investigating, and this is really it when you diagnose things. You just have to be Sherlock Holmes when it comes to this stuff. If you know anything about me, again, I don't like AutoZone parts for this very reason, and this is what it seems to have turned out, is that AutoZone parts, one of the causes of the multiple issues he had driving this thing 0 to 60 off the line. So let me show you guys. So this part is what he told me he replaced from AutoZone. This is where the leak is coming from. So I'll kind of pump this up. I don't know if you guys could see it. It's still bubbling, but I don't know if you guys could even hear it. I'm gonna take my mic to it. That, my friends, is where the coolant issue is. Now you understand that sometimes you want to do a leak down test just to be sure, especially when it's running rough and whatnot. Did I kind of jump the gun and went straight to the leak down test? Probably, but this was kind of a team effort, and multiple people were telling me, hey, do the leak down test for them first. Sure enough, turns out it was just faulty parts from AutoZone. As you can see, this is why I don't like buying parts from them. They're just utter crap. Hopefully this kind of gives you a better idea that what a leak down test entails. Now, like I said, there's multiple videos that could kind of go in detail with it. Perfect numbers to just kind of point out that average is usually 3 to 5, even some can push it up to 8%. Major issues start showing up anywhere from like 15 plus. Catastrophic is usually about 30 or more. It was rather be safe than sorry than charge the customer here a whole entire oil pump rather than just doing the job and then sending out on his merry way. Luckily, his coolant issues are the result of his horrible buying habits. Sorry, customer, if you are watching this video, I'm not going to name names, but don't buy from AutoZone. Buy from the dealer or buy better parts from a different website because, again, AutoZone, well, what can I say? They're just utter crap. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. What we do here is talk about everything automotive and doing automotive. We have a couple projects on this channel, automotive related. I'm saying automotive quite a bit, but with that being said, we have a K20 project and we have a C20 project, and we got some products to showcase and parts to even showcase here on the channel too. My name is Nick, this is Mechanicbuilt, and I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, Dodge. Don't let friends buy Dodge. That's all I have to say.